Hi, how are you? Welcome to my studio. Welcome to Studio One. This is where it's happening, man. Welcome. So these are all my babies, my creations. This is a raw limestone. So normally when I'm working on them, at first, the rock will be like this. I've got different kind of hammers. These are the ones I use for stone sculpting. These two guys here, they kind of look the same, but they have different weight. So it actually depends with what I'm working on, you know, and the amount of impact that I have to apply. When I'm starting carving, mostly I start with a punch and a hammer. So they do much of the shaping. So actually, myself, I can say stone sculpting is more like breaking a stone in style. So you have to look at the grains of the stone. You have to look at its weaknesses. For example, if I want to remove this part here, which means I have to hit just right over here. You see? Let's say I want to get this guy off. I have to come from a different angle. So sometimes we work with we always work with the grains. Sometimes we work against the grain or along the grain. If it is stones, you know, it doesn't really mean that you have to use so much force, but it's a matter of knowing how to break the stone. It's more like tapping, actually. You'll be tapping away. So with the different sizes, it depends how much impact do I want. So as if I'm working on this guy right now, and I'm about to put details, like the eyes, you know, the lips. I won't need such a big hammer, boss. I'll be looking for trouble. At the end, it will crack, you know. So I have to use the one which is lighter and which will give me much control. Here now, actually, it's more like I'm scraping the stone than chiseling it, so that I can have that fine surface. So, if I look at this sculpture, I can say that myself is almost finished. What's left is, you know, sanding it down, making it smooth, and waxing it up and polishing it up. So I'm going to use about 10 different sizes of sandpapers from size 80 to 1000. So the bigger the number of the size of the sandpaper, the smoother it is. So when I'm done with it, what I'll do is like I'll hit the stone. When I hit the stone, I have to hit the stone at a moderate temperature. When it's very hot, then I'll apply beeswax. So beeswax will bring out the color. Like if you look at the stone right now, the way it is, it's down, but it has a very nice white line flowing down here, just like the ones in Mandela. But if you look at the stone right now, you can't really see it. But if I put water on it, you can actually see the colors in the stone. Even here, he has white beards, you know, and this side too. But right now, if you look at it, you can see it. So look. You gotta wash his face early in the morning. Yeah. So you see the grains, the colors in the stone itself. Look at that white line I was talking about. Even the beards now, they are more visible. So to keep this color, what I do, I'll heat the stone. And when the stone is hot, I'll apply beeswax. So beeswax will keep the color. As we all know that I'm from Zimbabwe. So when I moved here to Cog, the first place that I went to view an apartment was in Cove. Every time I'll be there staring over the window, seeing the ships coming in and going. Then Cove, I discovered it was the last place that the Titanic went on its final journey. So I said, still, even though Cove is no longer big immigration port. Still, people are still migrating in and migrating out. They still come and visit and see Cove. So it's all about traveling, which is the journey. The journey become, the title of all my ideas. I looked at the island trying to find out what do we have some links. When I settled myself in Cork City, I found that there's the Spike Island in Cove. So that prison, just linked like the same one where Mandela was, is Robben Island. It was on an island. So I met him when I was young, and I also had to research and find quite a number of photographs. So when I had these photographs, then I had to look for the stone. I started from the forehead to mark up the line on the stone. That is after having the base. To do this sculpture, it took me about 9 months. So 3 months was to find out if I can do it. Then it took me 6 months to sculpt it out. So it's like when I finished carving Mandela myself, I felt so good. It's more like freedom. It's more like I was setting him free out of this stone, just like him coming out of Robben Island. This piece here, I call it nomadic family. It's a family of 5, and they're traveling on foot. So if you look, the big thumb becomes the father, and the second one, the mother, and the 3 are the kids. So over here, if you can see, I left these pieces natural. I sculpted it from limestone. This is actually local limestone. But the great part of it is the quartz in the stone, and the base is made from fruit serpentine, which is from Zimbabwe. So it's a combination of an Irish stone and a Zimbabwean stone. The heads of the kids, I left them natural, kind of breaking. Because you see, all kids doesn't have same characters. They have to be different. They'll never be the same in a family. So that brings out the character. And the white part over here, to me, it is natural. It was in the stone, but to me now it looks like the bloodstream. So I can call this sculpture the lifeboat or the boat people. I got the inspiration from the Titanic. When it was sinking, people had to jump into the lifeboats. But the idea about this sculpture is just to express how life can be. Sometimes there's always light at the end of the tunnel, or you never make it. But I think all these guys, they made it. My sculptures are filled with love, families, relationships. It's all about mother and child, friends. But here, what we have is a group of 4 people. It's more like a reunion. Like myself, when I go back home, I think I'm going to have some special time with my friends. Gotta get together. So I call this sculpture Reunion. The title of the exhibition is The Journey. So I tried by all means to find sculptures or ideas which has to do with the journey, and I found the elephants being a good idea for it, since they migrate from one place to another, just like the nomadic people. Elephants, they migrate from a drier place to a greener pasture or in search of water. It's quite hot over there. Some of them, they make it, some they don't make it. So actually this one is a baby elephant. I hope he's not dehydrated. Well, these are 3 dolphins. It's a family of dolphins. Like I said, I like families, I like togetherness. So I could imagine, being in a boat out there in the sea, wherever you'll be going, maybe be crossing the Irish seas to England. Actually, the title is Disappear and Appear. I think that's the way they swim when they're in the sea. So these are going to be 3 dolphins, and the stone is called Spring Stone. It's from Zimbabwe. When it's finished, it's going to be dark color, and it will be shiny like the one I have over here, which is the finished product. That one I did it last year, but that's for myself. I'm going to keep it.